Bez is the best tower and it's time to bring it out, and today I'm going to be running it on Tricky Tracks, which is the new expert map. And this one's really cool because we can just put him right in this corner, shoot down the straight line, and get a bunch of cash spare too. So let's run this up. First of all, just to note, this was done before the map was made harder. I'm pretty sure this is the only other challenge I did before it, but as of a few days ago, I think it was yesterday or something, I don't know, something like that, they updated the map so now the nodes go at the correct speed to better reflect the difficulty of the map in its original state, the one that was made in Challenge Editor, of course, by Villain. Now, when this nerf came, and I knew it was coming because people mentioned that it was bugged on how it worked, I was expecting a small nerf, like 20%, but it's a lot harder now. I think it's about 60% faster, just in general, for the track lengths, so that is a lot more difficult. And the things that I was thinking I could have done or wanted to try definitely are not possible with that massive damage, or not damage, speed increase, but there are some other challenges that I think could work out pretty well. It's just that they won't really get a ridiculous amount of cash spare because this map is now a lot harder than it was previously. It's definitely up there in the true expert ranks, but in the meantime, this one was done before the nerf, so Bloons kind of just come in, take a little nap in the middle, and then head out whenever they feel like it's ready. Now it doesn't do that, but with that being said, I can do a whole crazy cash spare Bez run with that case. And this run was definitely pretty fun, especially in the mid game. You'll see, I'll kind of explain how a bit of that works. So as the early game wrapped up, I just had Sai, a base mortar, to take out some of those leads, and a crossbow for the early camos, and then I'll be able to get into the village and the Dartling Gunner. And here, the Buckshot is actually a really good tower. Normally Buckshot's not a good tower, and when you do save ups like this, you gotta do a whole lot of micro on the Dartling and the Buckshot to be able to make sure you hit everything. But just because of the way that the Bloons come so slow into the center, and then just a little bit of knockback pushes them very far back because they move very slow in the center, that makes towers like Buckshot, Moa Presses 2 in particular, extremely powerful. So I was able to just completely AFK, put that just shooting straight down the center, and it was able to go all the way into the bads, and then basically the same thing, just not really a lot of work I had to do, but this was able to just then save up straight into the Bloon Exclusion zone, the tier 5, $62,000 save up. It's quite an expensive save up, but I was able to get it no problem before round 80, which is quite good. From there, that leaves you for really good space to be able to save up into a good amount of cash spare at the end, which is really nice because you don't really have to buy anything else to win. Now, if it was in the buff version, you probably would have to buy a whole bunch of stuff. I think an overclock and a Moab glue would probably be necessary. Maybe, well, maybe not relentless, but a Moab glue like in a Moab press would definitely be required to be able to beat rounds like 98. I had to get a few small things. A snowstorm was needed to be able to catch ceramics at the very end for the track that's closest to that mortar. So I think the top track, I would just say it as. So just a small little thing. That's because it's just so far away, and by the time the Pierce gets over there, it usually doesn't have enough to catch all the ceramics. It's not like Bez has a wild amount of Pierce. It has pretty good, but really not enough to catch the ceramics all the way on that track, just because of the way that it's set up. But other than that, it was able to run really smoothly and beat the late game very efficiently. And this was a pretty awesome challenge. I loved using Bez, especially when Bez just is super powerful and destroys everything. It's just really satisfying to see. So for that reason, Bez is the best. Now, if you recall, the Bloon Exclusion zone does not have normal type damage. It cannot pop leads. It indeed has shatter type damage, which means it can't pop leads, but it can pop frozen balloons, like from Ice Monkey. So that's why it's actually really good with the snowstorm and stuff. So I'm just going to counter that by getting the 301 Alchemist that we'll have there by default, and then just two 200 Alks. Now, Dorio said you need 3 of them, but you actually need 2 as long as you can kind of deal with a little bit of RNG and time size ability at a well time. You can get away with the downtime that only 2 would bring. So just 2 200 Alks thrown into there, and that will allow me to pop all the DDTs. This is a pretty funky trick, the AMD stacking trick, and in general gameplay this is not a good thing to do. It is incredibly inconsistent at times, and the tower needs to be isolated with AMDs. This only really works with permaspike, because I know that's something that people do a lot. They just have that one spike and then the AMD will get it full uptime. That's just because the thing attacks so slow. It also kind of works with icicle and pale. Anything that shoots faster than that, though, you really just don't want to use it because it's so random. But here on a challenge, of course, I'm able to use all my capabilities, and I'll be able to get something like that to work just fine. So as you can see here, we can take out 95 without a problem. And then for 96, I'll have to bring that ice in. On 98, I have to upgrade that to snowstorm, just because it was kind of giving me problems in general. But now that the map is harder, this is a little question that I have for you. If you've beaten it on Chimps Black Border or whatever, not some funky challenges, like, how hard was it? Because I, of course, did it Black Border. I did it first try when it was easier. It really wasn't that difficult. But then I went back, and after it got changed, I did a Black Border again, and it was definitely a lot more tricky. The early game was pretty nasty. I didn't really like the early game. It was hard. There was a lot of dying in there. But the late game was fine. I beat the late game first try after I got past round 36. Everything else was just done easy in one go. So it was a lot harder, and I kind of wanted to hear what people think, but for a challenge like this on the easier version, definitely super cool, and Bez was able to just destroy everything. 72,000 cash spare, so I'm excited to kind of see what the map has now, but this was pretty awesome to play with, I'm gonna be honest.
Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!